Hello, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm going to show you guys how you can make port forwarding on your router so you can share your Minecraft with other students. Look at this photograph here. In this picture, you can see you have Zalaf who is playing Minecraft on his computer, and his computer has this IP address, and he wants to host. So what happens is when you host Minecraft so others can join, your computer becomes like a server. For a period of time, it becomes like a server. But this is a laptop, or a computer or a tablet that is at your house. So you are connecting to internet through Wi-Fi from the router, and that router is connected to the internet. And all your brilliant Minecraft buddies out there at home in the islands, they are also connected to the internet. So when you share the join codes, they will be able to connect to your computer because Minecraft is connected to the internet. On the internet, you have Microsoft people, those who are running the Minecraft for you. So when you are logged in into the Minecraft, Microsoft knows where you are. So when you enter those join codes, Microsoft knows who is having those join codes. So when you enter those join codes, they will send that connection request to this router. So the problem is the router does not know who is running that Minecraft. Is it running on Zulkifli's laptop, or is it running on Zalaf's laptop, or is it running on Zalaf's iPad? You know, so that information you have to tell router. Otherwise, the connection will come here and it will not go inside the house, inside into the laptop. So that configuration is called port forwarding. So you are saying this Minecraft connection request coming from outside actually is Minecraft running on this computer. So that configuration you have to do in this router so that it will automatically forward your request. That's why we call it port forwarding. It will forward your request to this laptop so others can join. So to do that, you have to find out what is your connection. Is it Wi-Fi or is it connected from cable? So you can check that by going into the connection here. For example, you can see you are connected on Wi-Fi. In this case, you can see here there is a Wi-Fi network called Zalzo Wi-Fi. So you are connected there, and you can go to your properties and you can look at your IP address. You can see here your IP address is 192.168.8.113, and then you have DNS server 192.168.8.1. So this configuration, this setting tells you you have Wi-Fi. So what you do is you go into browser, and in some computers you will see this as DNS server. In some computers you will see this as gateway IP address. So find this IP. Most of the time it will be 1 at the end. It might be 192.168.1.1 in some houses, 8.1 like that, but usually something .1. So that is the gateway IP address. So you go into this window, type here 192.168.8.1 because that is the 8.1 is our gateway IP address in this Wi-Fi network. Then it will take you into this screen. This is the router that is in this house. Sometimes your router may have a different type of screen, but you must know this password. Either your parents or you yourself may know this password. In my case, let me just put the password. Sometimes the password is written in the router. If you don't change it, it will be there. That password may work on the router, under the router, or behind the router. There will be a password which you can use to log into the router. In many houses, it will be changed because you don't want other people to connect to your router. So you go into your router, and this takes you into this settings of the router. See, you have so many settings. There will be so many settings that you will do. So this router is running on a 4G network currently. So this setting that I am showing you is done on a 4G router. In some houses it will be fiber, or some houses it may be ADSL or something like that. But anywhere, don't worry about what type of router you have. Go into the router, and usually you have to do two things. First, you have to find out what is the IP address. What is the IP address of that computer that is running Minecraft? You can find that by doing this. For example, you can say here, this computer that I'm recording this video on has an IP address 192.168.8.113, but that is this system over here. It is the Zulkifli's laptop, but Zalaf laptop has 8.105, and he is the one who is having Minecraft. So in order to make port forwarding for his laptop, we have to go into the router, and then we have to go to advanced, because we are doing something advanced. Usually most routers, you go to advanced, and then from the advanced you find out security, because this is something related to the security, you know, because you are saying people can come from outside into your laptop. That is the security you are allowing. So by default it will be prevented, because you shouldn't allow people from outside to come into your laptop. That's why you have to manually enter this. So you are saying, okay, go to security. In this router, there under the security there is a setting called virtual server. See, we told you, when you do a port forwarding, or when you make hosting of a Minecraft game, when you give those join codes, your computer becomes a server. So you have to tell your router that there is a server. So that is, in this case, called virtual server. So you go into the virtual server, and here you can see we have already done that setting. So you click this virtual server list, and in the virtual server list you write the name. The name, you can write any name, and you just have to write here the port, the WAN port. So the WAN port is, what is the port that's coming from internet. So Minecraft, especially Minecraft, will have a special port, and that port you can see here is 19132. So the port is 19132. So that tells internet to Microsoft that you are trying to connect to Minecraft. So it will automatically know that you are trying to connect to Minecraft. So it will send that request to this router, and this router will receive requests from others to join Minecraft, but he doesn't know which computer has Minecraft. So you are saying this Minecraft, so you write here a name, port forwarding, and then you write here 19132 as the WAN port. You can write the same port here, because it is only one port you are configuring. You are not making many ports, it's just one port, because it's one application only, Minecraft only. Which device do you want to forward it to? So from here you can choose the device, and usually it doesn't show the IP address, but you can get some idea of who is having that device, right, by selecting the device name. If you don't know the device name, just type in the IP address here. So example 192.168 8.105, like this you will type here, and you don't have to worry about LAN port. You are just saying WAN port. So WAN port is connections coming from outside, is called WAN, wide area network. People who are connecting from across the world, so they can connect to you. So all you are telling is this Minecraft port is actually on this system. That is what you are saying. All you are saying is that you are not doing anything else. So the WAN port and the LAN port, both will be the same. Okay, so you have to actually give a LAN port here, yeah, like this. So 19132. Okay, just save it. Remember, you can only do this once, because 19132 is a service running inside your LAN. Inside your LAN means inside your, here this is called a LAN, because there are many computers. So which computer has this Minecraft? You can only add one Minecraft entry in your router. If you want someone else to do the Minecraft sharing, this person has to remove his Minecraft hosting, and the other person IP address have to be typed in on this window here. Okay, so that is how you do port forwarding on a Huawei router, for example. In other routers also, usually it will be something called virtual server or virtual application, or sometimes it will be port forwarding. Most of the time it will be in the advanced menu under security, because you are doing a security setting. The second thing you might want to do is, sometimes if Zalaf turns off his computer and tomorrow when he wakes up and he reboots or restarts his computer, it might get a different IP address. So this you can solve by telling the router that every time Zalaf connects, give him this IP, so that your configuration that you have done on the router will not change. So to do that, you have to go to Zalaf's computer and ask him to run this window. You can go to Windows and you can type here CMD. That will give you this something called command prompt. You open the command prompt and you'll get this screen. On this screen you write IP config, like this. You might be able to get this information from that previous screen also. Here, I think it's also here. See, you have IPv4 address and you have your physical address. This is what I was talking about. Find this physical address. You have to find out this physical address. Physical address is the computer's MAC address. So you can go to the same advanced menu under the router, under DHCP. DHCP means when you run your computer, automatically it will get IP address from router. You don't have to worry about IP. So that's called a DHCP. It's called Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. It means whenever the computer restarts, automatically or dynamically is just like automatically you will get an IP from the router. But if you want to have one IP all the time, so that this port forwarding will work always, you have to get the same IP. To do that, you have to tell router, whenever Zalaf turns on his computer, give him this IP. So that you have to tell in the router. That is under advanced router DHCP. Here you will have something called IP and MAC address binding. So this means whenever Zalaf's computer connects to your router, you'll give him 192.168.8.5. So that you do here by going into this plus button, and then you enter what is the IP address that you want to give, 105. To whom do you want to give? Then you type here the MAC address, and this MAC address is that physical address, the D8-12-65-B3-08-B9, like that you type in here into this window. In this case it says instead of dash use colon, so you have to use colon. Okay, so you don't need this black window. If you don't see this information on your setting, you can also get this information on this black window. IP config, enter, and then find that IP address, your IP address, wireless LAN. This is the IP address. Here is your IP, here is your gateway IP. Okay, and then here is your MAC address. See, here is your does it show your MAC address? It doesn't show your MAC address here. So to get the MAC address, you can type again ipconfig /all. This will show more details. All means show me more details. So this time you will see wireless LAN adapter here, physical address. This is called MAC address. If you don't want to use this black window, you can use this black window, which is you go to your Wi-Fi, find your Wi-Fi, click the properties, this link, and then it will take you into this window. At the bottom you see all your details. You can click copy and easily copy these details into a notepad file, for example, notepad, and you can paste here, and this is the physical address or your MAC address. That is what you will enter into the bind IP MAC address link, so that always you will get the same IP. So if you have done those two setup, your port forward will always work. Okay, so as I said, sometimes in some routers the menu may be little different, but all you are trying to do is telling the internet that I have a server and that server is running on this computer. So router needs to know who is running that server so that others can connect to you. That's why it doesn't work, because there are 3 or 4 computers here, and maybe Zulkifli also might have his own Minecraft. So only Zaref can host in this network. Others can't host because the router only can run one Minecraft server at a given time. If someone else wants to run, he has to change that port forwarding and enter his IP there, like that. So that is how you do port forwarding. And if you have any issues, you can go to Google and you can try to find out how port forwarding is done on that router. What you can do is you can go to your router, find out your router model number, and you can type here port forwarding on, then give the router name, for example Huawei router, Huawei 4G router, for example. Then you might be able to actually see some example tutorials that teach you exactly how to do setting on your router. So find your router model, you go to your router, you can usually find it out from home page here, like this. For example, you can see here's a Huawei router, and what kind of router is this? You have to find that out by going to the router and looking at the router. There will be a model number under the router or behind the router. You just type it in Google and it will give you some videos or pictures or even web pages which you can refer to see how to do the port forwarding for that specific router. And always, usually it will be under security. See, security, some kind of a setting where under the security you will see port forwarding available. See, virtual server, here also it's called virtual server. So you are trying to do a virtual server, and even on this page, for example, you can see they are doing this DHCP settings so that that specific computer gets the same IP address all the time. Even without doing that, if you have done only the virtual server, your port forwarding should work. When you restart, if you get a different IP address, it may not work. So you have to come to the router and do this MAC address configuration to make sure that your computer always gets the same IP address. Okay guys, so that is a good example of how you can do Minecraft port forwarding. I hope it was useful for you. If you have any questions or any router model that you can't find, then comment on the video and we can try to find out ways to help you do the configuration. Thank you very much.